Alright, welcome to another Completionist run, this time 3 Stars of Destiny, which is basically what I consider to be Laxia Soul 1. Technically, Laxia Soul is kind of 3 Stars of Destiny 2, sort of not, sort of is. I mean, I'm here for it. Now, as usual, with these Completionist runs, my goal is to play in the hardest possible difficulty mode. However, for 3 Stars of Destiny, that is a goodie, which is technically a DLC if you want to call it that. It's a goodie that you have to download. It's a save file, you download it, and then you get Hell Mode. You also get Iveen, but obviously we're not going to be using Iveen, because using Iveen kind of beats the point, doesn't it? Like, did I just activate normal mode? I really hate myself sometimes. Well, I hope you like this intro a lot, because we're watching it again. No. So, as I was explaining, in 3 Stars of Destiny you actually have the difficulty mode, Hell Mode, but you need to download a save file in order to use it, which is why you'll see me load instead of use start game. Now, secondarily, you also get Iveen, but using Iveen, to me, kind of beats the point. So we're going to use Hell Mode, there we go, and now we get to choose an encounter rate. Now, we are picking Maniac, for a simple reason. If we don't pick Maniac, we're gonna get into trouble later. Now we're putting Iveen into the stash. Also, notice how if you play on Hell Mode, you actually literally cannot get... It is actually completely impossible on Maniac mode, on Hell Mode, to start the tutorial, which I assume is on purpose. I'm guessing Indie kind of figured that anyone playing on Hell Mode wouldn't really need it. Also, you cannot get an encounter as long as you are on that first map. That is physically impossible. So we're starting the game, and the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be entering secret room number 3. Now, I know what that looks like. This is secret room number 3. Don't worry about that. While the secret rooms are technically in order in this game, technically, they are in order, but I wouldn't really put too much weight into that statement. Now, a couple details here. I don't know what's up with the font, by the way. It just got like this. I really have no clue why it's like this, but it is. We don't have any gold. Well, we have 8 gold. My bad. I said we don't have any gold. We have 8 gold, but... Now, one thing I've been wondering about is technically there is in fact a way to get more gold here, but it requires the Hat of Persuasion, which is interesting because it is physically impossible to get the Hat of Persuasion this early on. So that kind of makes you wonder, like, why and how was that added? But sure, whatever. So we're going to continue. We're going back to the left. It's kind of odd that we still have not had a single encounter, but, you know, it's fine. We head to the left here, and this is kind of where the bulk of the game starts. Okay. Have we? Oh yeah, we have had 1 encounter. My bad. Alright, so our goal here is obviously to level up as fast as possible. Just once is fine, but we do need to level up desperately. The surprise encounter is really good for me. Now, all of this is fine. The single worst thing that can happen to us is that we get ambushed. Or that we run into a hornet encounter and they poison us. If either of those 2 things happens, we are in some degree of trouble. Now, I did not mean to hit that one. I meant to hit that one. Alright. Now, Random does have the heal skill. It won't heal a lot, and it definitely won't heal often. Because while there's no cap on how often he can use it, he does have very limited mana. The goal here is to grab as many as possible of these red apples, so that we have some form of healing. And then we're heading up, grab these sparrow eggs, because why not? There's more apples here. And now one thing that we're going to have to be very careful for is we're actually going to go ahead. We cannot buy this, but we can enter here. And okay, I did my best to avoid that, but didn't work. So we're going to use the explosion scroll that we get. That is going to level us up. And we're going to be able to grab the items and leave. And that's also all that we have to do on this map. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, why did we do that? We did that for the simple reason that it helps us escape a couple dangerous things. We also leveled up because that's a pretty good XP fight. There's another fight in the forest where you could reasonably say, oh, why don't you use the explosion scroll there? But I think the wolves give less XP than this did. So it's kind of like a choice I make. It's whatever. Alright, so we're going to grab that, we're going to grab that, and we're going to enter the secret room here. This is the Hat of Persuasion. The Hat of Persuasion does a couple things. No, we don't want to... Wait, can I use these Paro eggs? I actually don't know. I can't, right? Right. Alright. So we're not going to sell that, but we are going to sell these. There we go. So don't sell the red apples, because that's the only kind of recovery that you really have that's sustainable in this place. The heal spell, obviously, is the other one. But if you're going to rely solely on heal, things are not going to go nicely for you. Now, Hell Mode is sort of difficult initially. Its difficulty definitely falls off pretty fast. In the sense that as difficult as this game is, there definitely are moments where the difficulty is grossly exaggerated. Now, we can continue straight here. We can quickly grab all of this. We can go up here. Take out the wasps first, because if they poison you, it's not impossible to continue if you get poisoned. It's just very annoying to do, because then you have to use a hornet sting that costs 10% of your HP. So you're basically, like, you're hitting yourself when you do that, which is obviously what we're trying to avoid. Alright, so a big acorn, and then over here we will find a mugwort, I think it's called. Aged mugwort, my bad, my bad. So that's going to give us 2 bonus strength. This is going to give us 6 bonus HP. And this is going to give us a couple bonus. This is going to give us extra XP. And then we're going to eat a red apple so that we're, fully healed. Go down here, up on this platform for even more apples. Again, these apples serve little purpose except to heal or to get some quick money. The more apples you don't use, the better, technically. So, because you get more gold for it. But, I actually don't know if there's an item here. There is. And then I believe this over here. And then, now, you can talk to her. She's going to give you a quest. But the quest is quest 46. Which probably does give you a clue as to when you're supposed to finish this quest. It's actually an endgame quest. You can't complete it right now. So, alright, so once we get here, we're actually going to drop a save. And the next thing, oh yeah, this is a run without healing bunnies, by the way. Because why not? I did say it was going to be the most difficult possible run. And honestly, the bunnies, they're just way too OP. Like, if you full heal at them with little gold, you basically get free full heals. And that's not the point of the run. So there's another wooden shield here. I don't know why, because you already get one from the start of the game, but sure. Grab the gold, and here's the 1-2 claw. The 1-2 claw is not particularly relevant, because all it really does is... Well, it's not for random to start with, but you know. Alright, so we found eagle eggs, which have no use, but you can sell them. And a lot of red apples. So we're currently at 788 gold. So we're gonna quickly eat this, and we're gonna save at this bunny. This is actually a decently difficult fight. Because we're gonna get attacked. Now, that is not what I meant to use, but sure. I might actually trigger right now, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna reload the fight afterwards, because as you'll see, throwing the dynamite should one-shot her. Oh, it doesn't on this. That's interesting. On any other difficulty mode, that actually one-taps her. I'm sort of wondering whether... Like, I know she always shows up after some damage, but I'm not sure if she shows up after the first turn by default as well. So let's try one power strike, and let's see if she shows up now. Yes, she does. Okay. At least we didn't waste our scroll then. Alright, so that really trivializes the fight, obviously. On the higher difficulties, on the lower difficulties, I mean, it is actually possible. Let's see, this deals 800 fire laser damage, arc flare, Lord of the Dance. So what we can try, and I do say try, is we can try to see if any of these scrolls kill her. The assault scroll obviously doesn't, because the assault scroll is what the assault scroll does is it. Okay, so you need more than 700 damage. So unless arc flare does the job, which I genuinely doubt, it seems impossible to finish her off on maniac mode. Let's see, arc flare. Oh, that variance might work. How much HP does she have exactly? Okay, so wait, so that did one tap her. Why does that one tap her, but the other one didn't? Ugh. It might have something to do with HP. With random's level. Let's see. Level 7 random. Let's try that again. So this is the fun of stuff like this, right? We're trying to figure out, like, how badly can we break the game. Dynamite, one taps her. Alright, so the event, by the way, doesn't trigger here because obviously we already started the fight. Alright, so it's not guaranteed that it kills her now, so we don't actually have to use those XP eggs. So that just means we need to try until it one taps her. Without doing anything else. That's fine. Obviously, that does mean we're wasting time here. So it's not a speed run. And we do actually have to finish the fight each time, which also sucks. But okay, so I'm guessing she has 775 HP or something like that. So we're just doing this until it one taps her. Okay, there we go, 900 damage. So we're gonna level up now. And on the next one, we're just gonna level up again, because we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna toss another dynamite. And yeah, she's dead now. So that's why we did it twice. It just nets us a lot more XP for random. It puts him at 431 instead of the stat he was on before. And that is semi-relevant, because once you enter into the forest again, there's one encounter that's really difficult. It's obviously not this one. There's one encounter that's really difficult. It's the encounter where you suddenly are faced with 3 wolves. And that encounter can definitely ruin your day. So we're not going to sell the red eggs, as I said. We are going to sell the other stuff that we have. So the eagle eggs and the parrow eggs, because those are completely useless. Alright, so now that we've done that, we actually have 907 gold. Obviously a pretty neat amount of gold to have this early on in the game. Alright, so we're poisoned, which means we're going to use the wasp sting here, and then the red apples to heal up a little bit. We just have to get to our shack, so that should be fine. Enter the shack. Gonidia is going to be gone, but that's fine, because over here we can actually heal. We can heal really quickly. We can go down, we can go up, we can collect the letter. And the letter is just going to guide us back towards the turquoise lake? The lake, in any case. Sadly, there's no command remember in XP, so the mashing is a little bit difficult, but it's fine. Also, you might notice there's Sarah right there, there's a save bunny right here. Who wonders? Surely this won't be an event. No. Okay, yeah. Now, luckily, thanks to the level that we're at, this is actually not an issue anymore. In fact, it's incredibly easy thanks to the fact that we're already leveled up. Alright, there we go. We get Gonidia, and we get to continue. Now, technically, in between these stops, you can go to Zulle. You can buy weapons to improve your stats. And this part is a lot easier. But personally, I don't think that that is particularly required. Now, we get Gonidia, so we can equip him with this. We can't equip him with anything else so far, but that's fine. The claw is the half claw is honestly good enough. One of the things that we can do is we can actually go ahead and fight this. Although, if Gonidia does not take a turn, that is a bit more difficult. And I think we can't farm him, but he respawns every so often. And before you wonder, no, I have no clue what the actual requirement is for that thing to respawn. I think it's a timer, but it could be literally anything. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to this kid. I don't think that's relevant, but, you know, I like doing it. This is the weapons shop. Once we enter the weapons shop, we actually get a lot of options. You'll notice that this bow is insanely expensive. But we'll just ignore that because it's not relevant for us. We're going to equip an iron helmet. I don't know why you can buy fists here because that too is completely irrelevant. You'll notice that we did not actually buy extra armor. There is a reason for that. We're going to keep the Hat of Persuasion, extra weapons, I mean. There is a reason for that. We're actually going to keep that, we're going to keep the Hat of Persuasion on for now. And then we're going to continue, and I believe the current quest is to talk to Sarah's parents, who live here. And her dad will tell us that he doesn't know where to find them. We're going to find some milk there. And then we're back here. Now, there's not much else you can do here except just leave. I also don't think that we can sleep at the inn. I'm actually not sure. Can you? Yeah, you can. Okay. You know, that's cool. And we're just going to leave because there's really not all that much left for us to do here. All we have to do is go back and we'll see that this guy has respawned, which means we can attack him again. Attacking him a second time just gives us the gold again. So it's 35 gold per time that you kill that thing. I'm pretty sure that you can farm it because you can just spam encounter it over and over. I'm sure there's some form of trigger for when he spawns. But obviously, the thing that you actually want from him is the fact that he can drop... Oh, we got power gloves. No. The thing that you actually want from him is that he has a pretty good chance to drop a gold nugget, and that's what you want, obviously. Alright, so we're over here. We're going to buy another XP pumpkin. Now, I don't think there's anything else in any of these spots. And I think this is a coat. Coats are the item type that Ganidia equips, so we can give that to him. There's a sword buff here, but I don't see a purpose for it. And then over here, there's literally nothing here, so I don't think there's any purpose in being here either. The sword buff, I don't know. We might be able to use it at some point. But I wouldn't know for what, so... Also, you can, technically speaking, farm here. It is possible. Ganidia can use Tongue Slap to instantly finish off one of these spiders. So if you get lucky and that happens, this is actually really redundant, like redundantly easy. But I wouldn't recommend trying to farm there. It's sort of dangerous because if those tree spiders show... Huh? Oh, right. I'm so sorry. I skipped a step. You're supposed to talk to Sarah in town first. Oh well. Let's check if if this guy has respawned. I think it might just be RNG, to be honest. I really don't know. It might be a timer, it might be RNG. It's very hard to tell sometimes what the triggers in this game are. Notwithstanding the fact that I could go and check, but, you know. Not part of the fun. Alright. There she is. Alright, and she mentions Cave of Fall, so that's the next place we'll go. So we have 112 gold. That should be enough to get around for now. Not much else that we have to do. Not much else that we have to buy. This guy has respawned, so we're gonna just tackle him again. And as I said, every single time that you fight this guy, he's gonna drop 35 gold. Which is a great amount of gold, even at this point in the game. We're going to continue. Cave of Fall is down there, down up. There's really only one encounter that you have to be careful of at this stage in the game. There's very little that you need to be worried about. The only thing in this game that you have to actively be worried about is... The only thing that you actively have to be worried about in this game is when you encounter the triple wolf encounter in the forest. That one is the only one that I've found. So this is the vision hat. It improves perception. This is the luck ring, which, you know, it's kind of in the name. Now you can sell these scrolls. They really don't matter. We're not going to be using them. I like having everything that I can possibly have, which is why you'll see me sell some stuff. Now, it does matter a little bit what you try to sell. We can sell the dynamite, but I don't want to do that. And we don't have the gold. So we'll just buy the last thing on our way back. Just means that I can't forget. So that is not in fact a quest, even though it does have all the vibes of a quest. There's just isn't a quest here, by the way. Like, I've never understood that. I've always thought that there would be some quests, but they're not. There's none, so. You can just dodge her because she does nothing. Also, even though the game sort of doesn't expect you to, you can just talk to this guy first, even before you know that this is the Cave of Fall, and then you'll be able to enter. Yay! Okay, great. We're gonna save, we're gonna collect the leather clutch, which I actually don't know what that does, but it's fine. This is gonna be a statue of an elf, which is great. Also, you can go behind it. There's no secret room here, oddly enough, but you can go behind it. We can grab these gray mushrooms, we can continue upwards. And one of the things that a lot of people actually don't realize is that you can interact with these orb things, these crystal things, to get an encounter against these spirits of the pond. Now, obviously, this encounter is basic. My cat scared me. These encounters are basically completely worthless for the most part. All you really have to do is clear them once. I think there's a chance that it drops an item, but I wouldn't know what item it can drop off the top of my head. What I do... Oh, I did not mean to escape there, but sure. Now, what I do know is it does help when Gonidia uses Tongue Slap twice. It substantially speeds up the fight, because we're only taking 1 damage. But she can heal. So we're literally sitting here, alright, there we go. She can... Right, that's what she drops. Morning drops. Now, I always go for speed with Gonidia, because it is nice for him to be a little bit faster. Because the faster he is, the more reliably he can get his glue off on some enemies. Now, if you see those oozes, they can tire you or fatigue you. I don't know what exactly it's called in this game, but tire or fatigue you, which is a very annoying state. Also, there's a secret room here, which is the 7th one we found, actually. And that will give us Mellow Nectar. Now, Mellow Nectar, as you'll see here, gives us 2 MP. Now, I actually don't know what the long list of stuff is that the girl sells us. Also, we're going to equip the luck ring at this point, because why wouldn't we? The luck ring is one of those things, you don't technically need it in the game. There is absolutely nothing that requires the luck ring to be equipped. And it's very tedious to go back and forth with it. But there's a lot of events that will just, in general, give you better odds if you have it equipped, or just give you better items, do better stuff for you. So, okay, so that's what I meant. They can tire you, and being tired in this game is incredibly annoying. Also, random does not yet have aggress at this point, and we also don't have a way to cure tired, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Oops, I did not mean to eat that, but it's fine. I only bought that in case we ran into the wolves or the spiders really did a number on me. So we're basically not just weakened in this dungeon right now, we're doubly weakened because on top of, you can get the iron clutch, but the half claw is a lot better. So that's, you know. Alright, so the thing is, you do get like a quick menu scene here, which means you can actually go ahead and change your equipment real quick. Also, the big crab can be glued, which is how you're probably going to be taking it down. Because your normal attacks probably won't do anything, and he might deal some damage to you, I don't know. I have, legit, the last time I have not just glued this guy is a couple of years ago, I think. Alright, critical damage 3, so the plate armor is obviously insanely useful. That shouldn't really come as a surprise, there's a reason you buy the plate armor. Because realistically, this thing could fight us for years and we probably still wouldn't lose. Now, the alternative is that you just do this. The reason that I say that is because you can be pretty liberal about your dynamite use. Dynamite is a great item, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure that there's plenty of fights later on in the game where you'll be like, oh, I wish I had dynamite now. But I can guarantee you that early on it is fine to just use it. It lets you finish some fights a lot faster, a lot safer, not risking stuff. Because early on it's when you lack proper equipment. You saw my way of getting the plate armor early on. That sort of rectifies the situation because it really buffs random's defense to the point that really he can't die that easily. I'm actually gonna escape from this because they're incredibly annoying. There's a water ball here. I mean, technically, we're already tired anyways, so it doesn't really matter anymore. Also, there's a secret room here. Now, this is probably the most annoying run back in the game, but, nope. So, yeah, I'm just gonna skip the fights this time, because the reason we're doing this is we're running back until we get the Thunder Sword. Normally, my opinion in games like this is that RNG is RNG. There's no bunny, right? I'm not mistaken. There's not. Normally, my logic is RNG is RNG. However, in a game like 3 Stars of Destiny, where you're already dealing with a lot of stuff on Hell mode, so an additional difficulty mode, I feel like the Thunder Sword is so strong that you really can't argue for not resetting for it. It's a pity that there's no save bunny closer by, though. No, I do not want the air sword. The game really wants me to have the air sword. It's a 1 out of 6 chance, so... I mean, we can definitely sit here for a while. Nobody's gonna say that there's a good chance of you getting it. In fact, you might actually be stuck here for a while. The fact that we can't save doesn't really help. So yeah, we're just, yeah. Now, the Thunder Sword is so good because, first of all, Thunder is a great effect. Second, well, a great element, I mean. Second of all, the Thunder Sword has the highest base damage of these swords. You'll see the Water Sword, for example, it can inflict poison. It's a nice enough sword, but it doesn't hold a candle to the, it doesn't hold a candle to the Thunder Sword. Thunder Sword also can hit ghosts, for example, which is really valuable, because being unable to hit ghosts early on with random means you're stuck with using skills, or you're stuck with using Sarah, which means there's no way for you to Ice Sword, so, I mean, I might as well show you. It causes cold, yay. Cold, I think, drops attack and defense, but, like, there just is no point in not having them. So we've gotten every sword except the Fire Sword and the Thunder Sword so far. Ironically, the only 2 swords that I would ever consider using. Well, asking you shall receive. So still no Thunder Sword. It'll come eventually. You know. It's annoying to be resetting for it, but it'll come eventually. So keep in mind, all the while, we do have Iveen in the party. Technically speaking, we could use her. The game does allow for you to use her. I just don't want to. Because I feel like it ruins the point of a Hell mode challenge if you then proceed to use a character that completely nullifies any extra difficulty this game has. So the game is being really fickle about not giving us the Thunder Sword. A 1 out of 6 chance. I kind of feel like we should not be getting stuck this often in a row without getting the sword, but you know. Here we are, not getting the sword. Yep. I actually wonder, my notes do list what the exact odds are, but as far as I know, the exact odds are just 1 out of 6, right? Hmm. Yeah, no, it definitely is 1 out of 6. So our odds here are just being terrible, that's all. Also, it is a fact, if you don't know about this, it technically doesn't matter, because, you know... Oh my god, just give me the Thunder Sword. This is really starting to get annoying. Okay. Um... Oh yeah, right. That's the thing with tired. It decreases your agility, which in turn decreases your chance to hit. That's why it's so annoying. Right, so I'm gonna save myself the headache and save anyone else watching this the headache by doing this. In case you're wondering what I did, don't worry about it. There we go. So that's how many more tries it would have taken. Yay. Alright, so now that we have... You might have noticed how strong the Thunder Sword is just by looking at it, but, you know. That's how good the Thunder Sword is. So the Thunder Sword is genuinely insane. Now, I don't think there's anything else in the secret room. Okay, so that means we can actually just do the main... So yeah, the Thunder Sword is pretty good. Like, it wasn't a joke. It's an insanely useful sword. Now when you enter here... Oh my, okay. Never mind, person encounter. Woo. Alright, I missed. I introduced you to the Thunder Sword, dealing 424 damage to an enemy that you're supposed to deal, like, you know, a little bit of damage to. Also, it inflicts numb, which is arguably one of the best effects. So Sarah learns Holy Words here, and she actually gets it early because of what we did earlier. By, She actually learns it now instead of later because of the fact that we already gave her the extra level with that snake. Wait, no. No, she learns it now. She always learns it now. Ignore me. I'm spouting nonsense. She always learns it now. That's how that works. It's random that got bonus XP. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to the bottom, but before I leave, I did not... I didn't wrap this up properly because I didn't beat the snake lady. Who similarly gets one-tapped by random at this point, but you know. Alright, so now we can leave the Cave of Fall. We got all the items that you can find here, so that's great. And we're just going to go back to the entrance. There's nothing else here. Except another encounter, apparently. So far you should be at 8 secret rooms. That is the amount that you should be at this point in the game. And there should not be much else for you to do here. Now note, we do have 223 gold at this point, which means we can buy the Vision Hat. That we did not buy earlier. Is it necessary? I have no clue. Random can't equip it, so it doesn't particularly matter. There's only one character in the game that can actually equip it. So you can wonder about the utility in that sense. It's Beretta for those that have already played the game. Also, I've seen a lot of questions about this thing here. You can throw a coin in, but it won't do anything. Like, you definitely can throw a coin in. You can do it as often as you like. It'll never do anything except, well, it will never do anything except lose you a coin. So, don't bother with that. Alright, I thought he wasn't here, but he's right there. I couldn't see him. Also, random just casually one-taps it now. It's a bit annoying that I'm still tired, because that's why things are not going the way that I want them to. Alright, so this guy's gonna be in front of my house. We can sleep. That is going to fully heal us, so that we're finally no longer tired. A lot of people might be tempted to go down at this point, but we're not going to. We are going to continue, and we are going to enter our house, and Sarah's right here, and he's going to mention that we have to team up with Sarah. Yay! There we go. And we're going to give Sarah mind points. You'll see why in a second. There's just a couple things that we can do now. We can first of all enter here. They're going to tell us that we can join the guild, and we need to do a little quest in order to be able to do what we came here for. That little quest is collect some rust powder. Now, before we do that, well, not before, it's technically at the same time. All we really need to do is collect this, which is an attack up level 2 potion. Doesn't do much, not too special, but you know, it is a potion that you can get. Alright, so we're going to continue. Going to go down here, going to go down here. Now that we have Sarah, we can come here. Now, I do recommend saving at this bunny right here when you go down here, because while this yak is very easy to beat, his odds for dropping his item are, I think, 60%. Also, if that happens, you're basically dead, because random is so strong at this point that he will casually one-tap your allies. Alright, so I'm sort of happy that we did not get the drop, because otherwise Sarah would not have gotten this XP, and I don't like that. So same deal, we can try and glue, we can also throw the dynamite at him, which deals roughly 2000 damage, as you can see. So same deal, random gets maddened. I don't really care, I want Sarah to get the XP too, because if Sarah doesn't get the XP here, it's just annoying. So random is going to attack, gonna use dynamite, and gonna do this. Okay, so this should work. Okay, never mind, he did not get. Okay, we're fine. And we get the claw. Okay, perfect. We got the claw, and we got Sarah alive. Okay, so that is an amazing weapon for Gnidia, the yak claw. Is there anything else in that place? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. So we got the yak claw, awesome, and once again, this guy's once again here, so that means we can once again fight him. And we finally got a gold nugget from him. So the gold nugget is technically what the gold farm here is all about. Killing it normally is fine, but the gold nugget is really what you're after, because that's the thing that you're going to sell for a lot of gold. Also, now that we're here, keep in mind, we can re-equip the Hat of Persuasion and the Luck Ring. I can guarantee you that it's fine. You don't really need them. You don't need the gear too badly. We can go here, we can talk to her, and we can just sell everything now because we no longer need the red apples. She doesn't buy anything else, it would appear. So now we can just continue upwards and back to the town. And you might as well do your main quest right now by entering here. Sarah is going to give you some gold, I think. No, that does not fully heal you. I thought it might, but I wasn't sure. And that means we can continue to the right again, and we can finish this quest, which was, I remind you, to collect the rusty powder in the forest. Now, aside from the fact that I just did this quest because I like doing quests, we're gonna get some XP, and that XP is okay, but more importantly, the nature ring and the magic wand onto Sarah and this. Now, here's the thing. You can go here, you can collect this potion, so that's gonna give you mellow nectar times 3, which gives you bonus MP. You can use this for the Elven Dew, which is going to give Sarah some bonus mind points. You can use this, the Knowledge Book, to give Sarah some extra mind points. And you can use the Mind Up Potion level 2. Now, as you can see, Sarah needs 200 mind to do this, right? 200 mind, that is not an easy bar to achieve, and you'll see if we use... So this is the ideal equipment that she can have. If we use the Mind Up Potion level 2 that we found, her mind will only be 135. So you have two choices here. Option 1, you use the XP pumpkins. Select mind as the extra option, and you'll notice that she'll be level 10 with 100 mind at this point. And using a Mind Up Potion level 2 right now will put her mind stat at 151. So that's not enough. That won't work. Alternatively, and I actually have not tried this, you can give her the Mind Potion first, which is going to boost the XP she gets. But I don't think that levels her up significantly more. So yeah, that's one more level up. So neither of those options are too great, so we're not going to do them yet. We're not going to finish this quest. That's how simple it is. Well, not yet anyways. I don't think talking to these two does anything, so we're just going to go ahead, straight up onto the main quest. I think oh! I actually did not know you could go back. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, but... Alright. Here we go for what probably constitutes the most... Okay, just to make sure that I'm actually right that it's the Thunder Sword that can hit these guys, otherwise I definitely wasted a lot of time for absolutely no reason. Whoops. Right, the Air Sword can hit enemies. The Thunder Sword is just a very good sword. Right. Alright, now, I know what I said, but it generally, it's fine. Alright, so these enemies are annoying because they can sleep you. I'm selecting Rush, because when you use Rush, the characters will still attack. Even if they were asleep when you when you gave commands. If you don't do it this way, they won't attack, and yeah, with, like, you know, all the bad stuff that comes with that. So, random is basically useless in these fights for a bit. We're gonna have to rely on Holy Words. I always forget that there's no command remembering. So we're gonna go for Holy Words. That's gonna deal with them. But it is a bit annoying. Also, Holy Words cost 0 because of the magic wand that we have equipped. That is sort of important because if you don't do that, you're gonna get stuck with no mana at some points. Alright, so we're gonna open this. I don't think there's anything in these boxes. Alright, so entanglement is not the biggest issue in the game. All it really does is it prevents you from moving. It doesn't do anything special beyond that. Alright, so in case you did not get the Yak Claw the first time around, there is actually another Yak right here that you can fight. I actually don't know what the best strategy is for these Yaks. You can use Power Surge on random, I suppose. Keep in mind, the Yak Claw itself also inflicts numb. So this thing is being numbed by two things at the same time. We didn't get a second Yak Claw, but, I mean... Literally, okay, it's the bottom one. Leave the bottom one off, it'll always lock you in. I guess it's a troll, I don't know. Now, one of the issues of playing on Hell mode is that you can definitely get stuck at some point. In the sense of, there will be some stuff that is basically impossible on Hell mode. I'm not going to say it's entirely impossible, but... And you will see what that is in a second, so that I don't really have to clarify too much. But just remember what you're about to see, alright? Alright. 340 strength required, we have 146. If we equip the ideal gear, which basically means the power ring, we're at 173. So we're about halfway right now. Now, you might think, oh well, that's not too bad, right? Because we're going to do a lot of power farming in this place. Technically, yes. We're definitely going to get a lot more XP while we're in this place. But I'll show you at the bunny. Even if we use attack up potion level 2, that puts our strength at 219. Alongside the power ring, that puts it at 260. So as you might be able to tell, a lot might not be enough. Now we're gonna try. I think if we follow my ideal route, it is actually possible. We'll get an XP pumpkin from here. We're going to open this chest for 25 additional gold. We're going to head to the right and up. This is normally locked off, but we already flipped the first switch, which is why this is now unlocked. Also, these things can inflict bleed. They don't inflict poison. Bleed, difference is, poison does not wear off at the end of battle. Bleed wears off at the end of battle. Gonna flip this switch, gonna grab the holy mirror that's right here. Summon Breeze, I don't know what that does. I think that can hurt ghosts and spirits and stuff, but I'm honestly not positive. Alright, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna enter here. There's absolutely no point in doing anything but defending with the other two. Alright, we got lucky that we managed to escape at the end, because that is like the only way that this can go severely wrong. They can in fact trap you so hard that you cannot move. Also, Sarah's heal costs a lot. Now, keep in mind, the fact of the matter is, whilst these enemies can be a little bit tough, I'm gonna swap that around because I'm confident that that can kill, but I'm not. What did I use? Why didn't it attack? Oh, Chrysalid. Yeah, tapping the wrong skill can happen a lot. Keep in mind, you can just use these holy mirrors that you keep finding to kill these things. There technically is nothing stopping you from doing that. Aside from maybe generally just not wanting to. We also have healing potions, so we can use 2 of these. Switch on a soul scroll, and this will have a medical herb. Against these guys, I would say probably just defend with Sarah, because she really takes unreasonable damage from them that you just don't have to be taking. This is one of the more annoying ones, because they sleep you with every hit. Like I said, just rush. If you rush, you still attack even if you got slept, which is why that is the best strategy to use. Alright, he will tell you that you're doing great. You can collect this and you can collect this, which is finally some gear for Sarah. Now, the Archer's main gauge, great at weapon, but we're not going to use it, because if we use it, we lose out on the 0 mana Holy Words casts, and that is just too valuable to lose out on. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to do it like this, because I know that that wins in 1 round. Okay, there is a save bunny here, which is nice. Also the savior book, which gives you bonus mind points. We'll see if we need that. And then we'll finally get our next party member. It is Spark. And Spark here is actually a really good character. He starts out a little bit weaker than anything else, but he can use this spell, Fireball, and that actually inflicts Broken on most enemies. Broken is an insanely good skill because it stacks on every other debuff that you can put on an enemy, and in that sense it's already better than most skills, because it inflicts a stackable debuff. Now we do kind of have to be careful here, because if Sarah gets killed, as I was about to say, if someone gets killed, since I said that I won't be using the full heals, we're sort of stuck at that point, because we can't revive yet. We have no revival skills whatsoever. So that's something, you know, I'm not telling you to play without revives. I really don't care how someone else plays. Without, I mean, bunnies. I think I don't find it particularly fun. First of all, it feels very cheesy because, as I said, all it means is that you play a game with no gold, basically. And then what? You're suddenly better at the game because you did not spend any golds. Now we can save here and we can enter this. Only Ganidia and Spark can enter here. And it's a bit annoying because there's a lot of these bats that you can potentially encounter here. And if you encounter them, you're basically like It's gonna be very difficult. And that thing can tire you. Which I'll admit is not the worst thing with Genidia, but it's annoying. Alright, all the power peppers. Okay. I felt like inspecting it. I don't think I've ever inspected that. Silver Shield, Holy Mirror, and Explosion. And we actually got out without a single bat encounter. I am very happy for that. Healing potion, energy herb, and over here, oh god, what the hell is this? Alright, so as you can see, these encounters are not necessarily easy. Like, there's a lot of enemies right now. They deal a lot of damage. We got out fine, so that's great. But it definitely is not certain that you'll get out of there without much of an issue. Alright, so now we find the Silver Sword. Now, the Silver Sword is not better than the Thunder Sword. The Thunder Sword is better by a mile. However, what the Silver Sword does do is it allows random to hit the ghosts. Which, you know, is good for all the reasons that I'm sure you can imagine. Because it means random can hit the ghosts. Now, another character that can actually hit these ghosts is Spark. So, technically speaking, once you have Spark, you know, you don't have to do anything else. Also, the Holy Mirror, in case, like, you might have noticed right there, can actually drop from these ghosts. So, I'm not saying that you can't run out of Holy Mirrors. So, like, if you run out at some point, you're definitely going to have a rough time. But there is some kind of fail-safe so that you can at least collect them. In case Sarah is dying. Alright, so now at this point, Sarah is on 119 mind, Random is on 152 strength. So I feel like this might just be the moment that we are going to have to use these XP pumpkins. I mean, we're going to use them now or later, so that doesn't really matter. The question is, Random is currently at 162 strength. With the stamina shoes, that becomes a bit more. The Knight Helmet does not increase it further. The Thunder Sword does not increase that further. So I don't think we have enough, to be honest. We have 256. 256. So, you see, this is what I mean with, there is some stuff that you will most likely simply not be able to do. Now, what do you get from that sword? What is that sword? You might be wondering. That sword is just a platinum sword. Why do I say just a platinum sword? It's not a good sword. Well, it is a good sword, but it's not better than the Thunder Sword. So that's kind of the trade-off that we're making. We're taking the Thunder Sword, that's why I grinded for it. Like, that was the point of that little grind session. Of going back and forth and eventually just forcing a save there. The reason that we do that is because now we have the Thunder Sword to clean house with, and we don't have to worry about the fact that we don't have the Thunder Sword. Or that we don't have a good sword. Because we don't need a better sword. We have the Thunder Sword. Alright, so the Trial Guardian is incredibly easy for... Oh, what? This guy can inflict mad? Okay, I swear to God, that is the first time in my life that I've seen this guy use the maddening effects. I suppose that makes him a little bit harder? Yeah, he has possession. I mean, okay, sure. Now, since Holy Word still does not, like, cost anything, we can just... Okay, oh wait, he's still mad. Wow, okay. I mean, I guess we lose the encounter. That I can escape, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna do this, okay. I don't care. I am not fighting this. It can take years, but I'm not fighting this. Alright. So, as I was saying, this fight is incredibly easy as long as random hits and as long as this guy apparently does not use possession on random, which is a move I have legitimately never seen this boss use. So I am confused on how and why he suddenly has it. Oh, random's blinded. I'm sure that's not going to be an issue. I mean, he probably has had it always. That's not the point. Okay, there we go. So that's how easy that was. And if you save now here, you can actually choose to just end this place. That would be the end of it. That would be the end of it. And now we kind of have to choose. Do we accept that it's impossible to get the sword? Yes, we are going to accept that. We're just going to wrap it up. Alright, so now we're going to hear that someone else has actually finished that duel, which means we need to... The point is, there's someone else, and we have to enter a duel in order to blah blah blah. Alright, I don't actually know what kind of mind power we're going to be on at the end of this. So let's use the mind up potion. Let's see how much she has. 186. How much XP does she need? Oh, she needs 10 XP. In order to be at 192. Okay, there we go. If that wasn't enough, there is one more thing you can actually do. There's one more thing that you can do to guarantee it, but... Alright, so this gives us the Benevolent Ring. That's actually going to increase Sarah's healing power, so that's kind of what we're going for. We're going to equip the Archer's main gauche. Gauche, I don't know how you pronounce that, honestly. There's a reason we're equipping it. We no longer need the free Holy Words, and we are kind of solid on everything else too. There's another quest here. If you go here and then inspect the roof, Sarah's just going to cleanse it, and we are going to get another quest complete. I don't think there's anything relevant here. I think this guy offers us to buy big acorns, so we can sell all our big acorns to this guy. That is fine. And now we have 1,182 gold. So I'm trying to think, is there anything I can do with 1,182 gold? It's not the most gold you can have, for sure. For sure. This guy sells... Oh, Cure's tired. I actually really would like some of that. And I guess I'll buy... Yeah, the max amount of this. I just wasted so much gold that I don't have enough to sleep at the inn. And I refuse to go back. So I'm gonna sell this gold nugget to him. Alright, so we'll actually learn that Harold is not the one that finished the trial. You might have thought so, but you would have been wrong. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna enter here. Actually, I'm gonna save first, because I kind of want to be sure that this is where I can leave. There's nothing else here, I know that much, but... Okay, welcome to the duel. And I just realized I did in fact forget something, so we'll have to do this twice. We can actually use attack up. As if random needs an attack up. Alright, so we won the duel. Now the thing is, yeah, so this cutscene triggers right after, and there's actually like one thing that I would like to buy first. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there's actually something, I'm not sure how relevant it is. But in the shop here, you can actually buy a quiet music box. It sits in your inventory right here. It doesn't do anything. I have no clue what it's for. Right now, at least. But it's something that you can buy. So, well, you now officially know that you can buy it. What I really like about this fight is that it has special dialogue for whether or not Sarah faints, random faints. Like, there's dialogue for basically any outcome, which, it feels polished. Alright, so other than this, there's not that much left here. I guess we'll go until the waterfall. for this episode. Now Sarah can heal. As it was stated, her healing powers have gone up significantly. Now we can save at the bunny here. There's an XP pumpkin right here. People that have already played these games might just recognize who this is. And there's a teddy bear here, and there's nothing here, so I don't know what the... there's a teddy bear there, as I was saying. My bad. There's a teddy bear there. The teddy bear is kind of cute. Now, other than that, I don't think there's anything particularly relevant in this place. My memory does not tell me that there's any specific item that you can get here. I know there's no secret room here. Also, the next part, and this is completely optional, I guess. You can fight these guys for XP. Now, I won't call them an easy fight, because if you're under-leveled, I suppose. But the point is, first of all, you can do this as often as you like. That's not true. There is a set limit of how many times you beat them. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I am not a fan of infinite fighting, because that's grinding, and I don't like grinding. I do not mind doing something that has a set amount of times, because obviously, if there's a set amount of times that it can happen, that means that it was intended that you were able to do it that many times. That's how I reason anyways. Alright, so Gnidia fainted here. Do I particularly mind that? Yes, I kind of do. On the other hand, I kind of don't. The issue is I still don't have a single revival, a method of revival. So Gnidia will have to stay dead for a bit. It is what it is. I could have been less aggressive about this, I suppose. I could have used skills, I could have, you know, done everything better. But sometimes you just want to click the rush button. Okay, so after like... Well, exactly that amount of times, in fact. It's not about, it's just exactly that amount of times. They will just flee. Also, these guys... What? Hello? They didn't fight each other. They're supposed to fight each other. Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't think I have anything to revive, right? No. So, no revival item. Sort of annoying. We find the Acrobat Mantle here. We find another Mandragore here. If you go down... Oh, I'm dead. I am so dead. The way you're supposed to win against these orcs is that you're supposed to... Okay, I'm not dead, but now Spark is dead as well, so, you know. I don't mind trying this, but I can guarantee you that this is not gonna work. For people that play the Avion games, I'm sure you'll recognize who this is. This is Ian from Avion 2. Nice little Easter egg. There's an Easter egg in Laxius Force with Ren, so, you know, it's kind of cool. Alright, we can jump on over here. There's an item up here. What? Huh, okay. Oh, right, in easy mode, there's a crystal here. On hard mode, there isn't. That's what it is. Alright, so, if these orcs ever decide to not run, I mean, I'm basically dead if they both attack. The orcs is basically why I bought so many salmons, because I know this is like a fundamental issue with this part of the game. Well, not an issue with the game, it's an issue with difficult modes. Alright, so we're gonna jump down, and this is kind of where it gets difficult. Sarah's leg is injured. Meaning she is currently unable to join the party. And Gnidia is KO. So we are currently in a situation where we don't have a single party member. Now, I could just heal. And if I really cannot progress the game, I will. Because there's no joy or fun in watching someone be stuck, I think. But the core challenge here... The core challenge here is to not have to use items. Not have to use a full heal. Which is going to be difficult if I run into things like this fight. But, you know. Alright. So the thing you have to do is you have to go down. Oh my god. Okay, you know, this looks very scary, but they actually can't hit. They don't deal any damage. Their poisonous bite might be the only thing that might hurt me a bit. Now keep in mind, the plate armor, this is why you buy the plate armor. It is such an insanely good armor, especially early on. Was that the only thing that gave me speed? Yes, okay. So we're gonna enter here. Blankets, power pepper, an empty basket, and then if you inspect the second basket, you're gonna run into these two. Now you can kill them, it's bonus XP I suppose, and then if you inspect these baskets, they'll say that they're definitely empty this time. Now if you leave, you'll run into this old lady here, and she will attack you. She's not that difficult. And when I say not that difficult, I mean she's pathetically easy, but, you know. And then that happens and you're dead anyways. Okay, so, you know, I'm just gonna do the heal. Huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna do the heal. I don't think it's particularly fun to, watch me sit here and be dead. I'm trying to think of, like, how I could condense that into a better challenge. Wow. Yeah, these Titan Wasps are very painful, in case you hadn't noticed. Actually, a lot of these encounters are very painful. Yeah, the forest really isn't a difficult section. It's just, you do kind of run into a couple... Like, if you run into that encounter, you're basically screwed anyways. It's incredibly annoying as an encounter. As long as these guys don't use their poison bite, you're sort of fine. There we go. I mean, we definitely tried, right? We tried without healing. It's just not particularly feasible in this section. I do think once we have access to revival skills, it becomes a different game. Because at that point, you can just heal. And you don't run into the issue that we're having right now, where I literally cannot use a character. Entirely. Like, we're entirely locked out. The alternative would be to actually use Iveen anyways. Like, I feel like, I wonder which one of those two would be more scummy. Using Iveen for revives only, or using save bunnies for heals only. I did not know she could summon imps. I honestly did not know she could do that. I have never seen her do that. It's fabulous how playing this game, after so many times, still manages to sometimes do something that makes me go, wait, what? But okay. Alright, so we're gonna save Sarah. Sarah's back in our team. Spark's around. Spark's back in our team as well. Luckily, they actually also got full healed. And that, I believe, is a nice moment to decide to leave it off for now. We have explored all the way up to getting Sarah back. In this encounter, you're supposed to defend until you... Alright, so, like I said, the alternative is that we do this. Does she have her... She does not have a revive, so, you know, there's no alternative. Never mind. Yeah, so let's say only full heal if we have to revive dead characters. I don't know. Anyways, that is the first 3 hours of 3 Stars of Destiny finished. I will see you guys on the next one.